Blue Note, Bluenote Stinger. He was one of the not seven kin, but he was like one of the guys who was like hired by, and like uh, Hades knew of his power and was like, you could be useful in the fight against Fairy Tail. At least they're like higher ranked. Remember, the S class was. Um, I'll send you out when my seven kings are like at half power. Four of them have fallen. He's like, once four have fallen, I will go to the battlefield because like I can't contain my power. He uses gravity magic. He can even summon a black hole, with his ability. He went onto the island at a time when Azuma was fighting Urza. So Natsu and Lucy and anybody with the Fairy Tail Emblem was being drained of their magical power. Then when he got there, he was weighing everybody down. Even Natsu couldn't get up. He tried to, but then he was like, "Damn." But Kana tried to attack him with Fairy Glitter, which is one of the sacred spells of Fairy Tail, one of the most powerful ones. Fairy Fear, Fairy Glitter, and then also Fairy Law. All three of those. But she hit him with Fairy Glitter, and he got fucked up a little bit. But he was like, it just served to like piss him off more. So then he went after them, but then Gildart showed up because he was gonna protect Kana. That was his daughter. So he was like, yeah, I ain't gonna let this guy fuck around with my daughter on anything. He's gonna die. And he ended up fighting against, Bluenote Stinger. And it seemed that, Bluenote Stinger was, on par with Gildart's because of the energy drain. But once he got his, energy back, it was like game over for Bluenote. Bluenote got defeated by Gildart after that. But he was a decent adversary, one of the better ones actually that came off that ship. I would say like he's probably, I would say he's probably the most powerful out of all the ones that came off the ship that wasn't Hades or Zera. But Seraph was never on the ship. But Bluenote Stinger, his strength's 86, speed is 86, durability is 85, 86 for his endurance, 84 for his intelligence, experience is 87, the 85 for his close skills, range skills are 88, and then 85 for his recoup, and then 86 for his hacks. So his overall power score is at 85.8. 85.8 for Bluenote Stinger during the Tenoru Island arc. Go watch Fairy Tail. Tenoru Island arc was the best one. Like, oh fuck, I might have to talk about more people today. I don't know, but be cool on the corner.